Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot and a red state, utilizing tarot to help us navigate these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. So the focus of today's reading is going to be the Epstein Files because Trump has not been able to move the news away from them. So, now he is come out and said that the files are it's a hoax. It's all fake news. It was something that Obama did, and who was it? Obama, Clinton, and Comey. I was trying to remember if I'm sure Joe Biden was implicated in that as well. So I think that's why Joe Biden didn't release it, is because of because it was protecting his friends. Okay, well, I kind of remember the first Trump era, and why didn't Trump release these the first go around? I don't know. So anyway, I have like 2 pages of questions. I'm not going to ask them all here. I just kind of wanted, I have a lot of questions. And I kind of am like, okay, well, which ones do I keep coming back to the most? And the one I come back to the most, there's two. Well, actually, there's one. A friend had told me another one to ask. The question I keep coming back to is, do they know that Trump is in these files? Like, do they know that? Like, does Trader Green and Bongino and Loomer and like Bondi knows because she's not releasing it, to protect Trump. Oh, Patel, that's the other one. Do they know that Trump is in the files? And that's kind of what I want to know, and then I kind of want to go from there. And as far as like me saying Trump is in the files, Trump is in the files. Some of us are old enough to remember the the trial of Ghislane Maxwell, and that is going to be the part 2 reading of this is going to be about her and what she's doing right now. So this reading really is just going to be focused on like the Trump side of that, and then another reading on Maxwell. Okay, so as always, these are for entertainment purposes only. Do they know, and by they, like those, conspiracy theorists, Bongino, Trader Green, Loomer, and ilk. I literally have that written, and ilk. Do they know that Trump is in the files? Midas Touch has done a really good job going through and reminding people, and that Trump is in these files. He was what was it, Doe 174. So he is in those files. Do they know that he was, Let's see. I did say for entertainment purposes only, and do they know that he is in those files? Big action. They want those files released. And looking out into the future, I think that this is big action. I get this card usually comes up like around, this is like waiting for ships coming in card. Okay. And so this is like, I get this whenever it's like, are the coders going to be releasing, something? Is there a whistleblower? Like that's usually the card I get, some, messages being released. And so that's what they're wanting. They're wanting big action to be taken and for this information to come to light. Okay. But do they know that dear leader is in that? Reaping what you sow. I kind of wonder if this almost reads like surely they don't believe that he should be prosecuted because that's their guy there. This is a something being offered, 2 aces, another ace, and moving forward, reaping what you sow, planting seeds for the future, and moving forward. I don't know. Do they know that Trump is in these files? Because like right now, this is all like, no, they want these things released. So even if Trump is in them, do they want these things released? Restrictions, they don't understand why it's not being released. They're blaming the government in general. Like, the government is not releasing this, and they just need to be patient. I don't think that they know. Wow. Um, so that's telling me they have not seen the files. So, Kash Patel, let me just ask, does Kash Patel know the truth? Because he's kind of toned down his rhetoric, it seems. He seems to be kind of some of the more recent reporting looks as though Kash Patel might have come around, is now on Team Blondie, as Loomer calls her. Okay, does Kash Patel know? The message about these files are not going to be released. And while it's disappointing, I think he understands. I always see the Five of Cups as a dual card. This is a card of disappointment and hope. So something that is lost, but something potential, to be gained. So there's something there. It's not just all lost. Okay, so this is telling me that the message is that they're not going to release this, and it's kind of like for good reason, or good reason on their part. And that is that, Trump is in those. I feel weird because it's like, is it a conspiracy to say Trump is in those files when we know that Trump is in those files from the Ghislane Maxwell trial? And now, to what degree? I mean, all the circumstantial evidence, entertainment purposes only, kind of points to, yeah. So it's like, is it a conspiracy theory? And also that Epstein, committed suicide in jail. I mean, do people actually believe that? I mean, I guess if Dear Leader tells them that, that's what they're going to believe. So, I wonder, and this was the other question that a friend of mine had. Hi. And is Trump going to lose any support over this? And I'm talking about common man, MAGA out there. Is he going to, the voting base, is he going to be losing any support? And the reason that, I want to ask that because I am curious, but I ventured into the comment section on Facebook. Don't go there. And I mean, there are people parroting the talking points of, it was just the Democrats. It was all a hoax. And so, are they actually believing Trump? Or is he going to start losing support? That's kind of the next thing I want to, ask. Is he, it's kind of like, is he going to lose support over this? Is he losing support from the voting, MAGA base, from the MAGA base? Is he going to lose support? Okay, and losing support, MAGA is right here, hearted center, Six of Cups. This is a nostalgia card. This is returning to a happier time. I mean, that is literally the meaning of this card. So that's why so many readers will read this as MAGA, okay? Because it's a nostalgia card, okay? I mean, they've got a twisted sense of nostalgia. It's definitely going to be in the lower energy, but it is nostalgia, okay? And then the challenge to this is transformation. I think the challenge is they don't want to... Hold on, the challenge is transformation. Let me put out some more cards. I'm going to come back to that here in just a minute. The lies, the options are, the lies being told. I don't know. Waiting and the emotions and irrational decisions. Okay, I'm just kind of looking at this. The challenge, I think that he, I'm very, I'm very surprised because it's looking as though there is going to be a group that actually doesn't believe the lies. And I'm saying that because you get this, they're all in for MAGA. There's things that they agree with. It's awful, but there are things in MAGA I don't agree with, that they agree with. However, this was a line too far. Okay. This was actually, there actually is a line. And my husband and I have been talking about like that. It's like there, when talking about MAGA and Trump, you have to accept, if you accept the fact that there is no bottom, then you're not surprised by just how low they go. But this is like, and so we've been saying like, is child sex trafficking going to finally be where we see the bottom? Like, is there actually going to be a red line that they say is too much for them? For some of them, yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to go into this. So you get the, what's coming in. The options are, all the lies that this is from the viewpoint of MAGA. They're seeing all of the lies. Like, this will be that thing, like, well, if he lied about this, what else did he lie about? Oh my God, fucking everything. Okay. And just this is that rash decision, that irrational behavior, just kind of coming unhinged, actually. And so it's like, this is telling me, like, this is what the future holds for MAGA, is that they're not gonna be happy. And we see how they deal with things whenever they're not happy. It was so funny. Side quest. I was talking to my husband about, like, are the maggots going to start like having protests because they don't know how to protest? Okay, a protest actually, should almost. It's a weird thing because you're angry and you're upset, but you're there with all of the people like that feel the same way you do. And so it almost feels like, a party with people of, like minds. I mean, the protests are actually kind of, they're fun to attend. There's a lot of really good energy there, and it just helps you to feel hopeful. MAGA does not do that. They do not do that at all. So, because it was like, if they like, schedule a protest, I'm not going because they don't know how to protest. It'll turn into God knows what. So, yeah, I think that they are going to be, he is going to be losing some support. I'm going to ask, is it enough to actually make a difference in the midterms? Is this going to be enough to actually make a difference in the midterms? Okay, is their outrage going to be sustained enough to make a difference in the midterms? Patience, balance, quickly. That's funny because it's patience and then quickly. Wow, okay. It was like the feeling I get from this is they have been patient long enough. And then very quickly, this is the card of winning at all costs. It's also the card of walking away. So it's like very quickly, because this is the quick card, and it's also messaging, like very quickly messaging like everything the Trump administration's throwing out, and there's a significant group of people that are going to walk away. They don't believe, I'm seeing this as kind of like they don't believe the lies and they're walking away. Okay, they have been patient long enough. Wow, that surprises me. Okay, let's see. So, Trump is just wanting this to go away, and it's not going away. He is going to be losing support. He's sitting at 37%, like right now. So, I mean, like, how much more? I mean, those 30%ers. Okay, what I'm feeling here with this, and I said this in that last reading that I did last week about these Epstein files, is it feels like the Project 2025 people, and I may be using that kind of as a generic term, not really knowing exactly who is in charge. Trump is not in charge, okay? They've given him the reality show TV portion of the presidency. Here, you do this, trot you out, sign the executive orders, go, do your little, cabinet meeting, and then go play golf. Okay, so you get that. And then, they give him little side quests here and there, to keep him kind of occupied. And then he gets to go play golf. And if he gets out of that lane, are they going to be, I get the feeling like he's stepping outside of his lane, and that Project 2025 people, Peter Thiel, the tech bros, those conspiracy podcasters, like all of those people, it's like pushing him out because they actually kind of want I get the feeling that JD Vance is acting POTUS, but he's taking his orders from like the Project 2025 people. Okay, that's kind of what I'm feeling with this. And so, are they going to continue? And I did get that that's what they're doing, that they are going to continue pushing this, not letting it get out of the news cycle, stirring the pot to kind of either to push him out, whether that's because of his health or because of losing support. And I mean, you're setting it. And as I said, the approval ratings are kind of all over the place, but that 37, 40% mark is kind of where he's at. So are these Epstein files going to be his downfall? Okay, let's ask that. Are the Epstein files going to be Trump's downfall? Okay, and with that, people rejoicing, people are happy. If it was his, I ask if these files are going to be Trump's downfall, and the first card I get are people are rejoicing. Is this is this going to be a one card reading? Let's keep going and see. But the challenge is this information has to be released. Okay, and once again, I have been getting there are at least two things that will take Trump down. One is going to be the election interference. Two is going to be the truth about these Epstein files. Okay, so we're kind of waiting on either one of those things will be what is going to remove, take him down. You also have the health, his health. So I guess maybe three. Oh, and there's three here. There's three things. There's the Epstein files, the election interference fraud, and then the third thing would be his health. Okay, and the options are literally, like you've got controlling the orange beast. He tries to make himself look as though he's the strong man, but he's not at all. And it's almost like the heart. It's like, you're so thirsty for that, dude. Give it up, okay? You're trying too hard. If you have to tell people how great you are, you're really not that great. Okay, so that's kind of the feeling I'm getting here, is he's trying to remain in control. Who's going to win? Okay. The past experiences very quickly, and the recent influences, very quick, but wait. And that's exactly what we saw. Oh, on day one, he's going to release those files. Well, are you going to, that was so funny. It's like, are you going to release the JFK? Yes. Are you going to release the, what was it? The Martin Luther King Jr. Yes. Are you going to release the Epstein files? Well, yes. I don't know. So they kind of had to, he walked that back after saying yes. Okay. And so it was like, going to release it on day one. Well, I don't know. Maybe not that one. Okay. And reaping what you sow. And this is a future card. This is the potential card, planting seeds for the future. So when this comes up in the future, this tells me what seeds you planted, back here, they're now coming to fruition. Okay. And you said you were going to release these files, and now you're not. So, reaping what you sow. I do think the challenge is going to be, like, we will rejoice when these files come out. It's just a matter of timing. Okay. Now, real quick here, I was curious. I pulled up, let me pull this up here real quick. I pulled up my energy reading for, oops, God, that's all out of order. Okay, I pulled up my energy reading for July because I was like, it seemed like there was stuff that was coming out that, seemed kind of major. As I said, I don't really remember my readings. So I went back and I have this pulled up, the video. I'm not going to play the video, but I had the cards pulled up. And the third week of July, I got like major arcana, like they were all major arcana cards. And it was the Death card. Oh, I gotta get my glasses on. I cannot see that. Okay. I was like, "Whoa, what cards are those?" Okay. And I'm looking at the video, so they're kind of upside down too. So be patient with me. The Death card, the Fool card, the Sun card, the Justice card, the Strength card, and the Magician. So I should have had those all pulled out. But so like a major transformation into a new beginning because the light has been shown on something legal. The Justice card, a just cause. The Strength card came up of like putting ourselves in a strong position for Magician. Like everything is finally out in the open. We know the truth. And then the minor arcana cards was, the Three of Wands came up in that one. The Three of Wands, this one came up. Something, like ships coming in for our country. So this could be the truth coming out about something. And then the Nine of Cups, and we're all happy. Which the Nine of Cups and the Three of Cups are going to be real similar cards. They're happy cards. Okay. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting with all of that is that, let me come back over here to my cards. I think that he's going to be losing support. I don't think that they know that he's in the files. I think that they actually believe the conspiracy theory that it's nothing but Democrats in there. And for the record, if those files when those files are released, if there's Democrats in there, it doesn't matter who's in there. Whoever's in there, they need due process and, have their day in court and defend themselves, and whatever happens, happens. So I don't think, nobody's saying that, on the Democratic side, in fact, they're the ones that are saying, yeah, go ahead and release them. I think because they know Trump is in them. Okay. Bongino, I'm going to ask real quick. This is getting a little long. Is he going to resign? He had a meltdown on Thursday. He had to take the day off on Friday, and so he was back to work on Monday. I wonder if he had an epiphany over the weekend. So is he going to be leaving? Is Kash Patel, he threatened to, not Patel, Bongino, is he resigning? And as far as him resigning, Justice coming back to work, it's almost like he's coming back to work. It's like the Justice Department, told him something, offered him something, gave him some kind of promise, like, oh, we're gonna do something, we're gonna prosecute, we're working on things. It's like they told him something. They told him a story that he, believed well enough to come back. So what is this Three of Pentacles? They have a plan going forward. Somebody has gotten to him. And the reason I paused is because, like, Musk, this is usually my Musk card, came up. I wonder if there's not... I wonder if if this isn't Musk telling him, hang in there, we have a plan. The files are going to be released. You just got to hang in there. Okay. That's kind of what I'm seeing here with this so is Musk going to actually release the files? Which I've gotten that he would. Yeah. I mean, the star card. Yes. Yes. Let me see. After a time of rest, big action taken. Elon Musk is stirring the pot. That's what this is. And that he actually will release those. Okay. And then, because now you're going to have two competing sets of evidence. You're going to have the Trump-washed version. Will they then release their Trump-washed version? Messaging about restrictions, and they're going to offer something tangible, this would absolutely fall under that realm of evidence. Okay, so yeah, that could get interesting. Okay, so with this, I think Bongino does know that if he doesn't know, I think he's going to know. I think he's the one that, if Musk was going to talk to anybody or try to convince them to stay, I mean, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Is, and it's not, I will say, it's not a real strong feeling. So it's like, did Musk talk to Bongino and just give him some kind of signal, like, you need to stay there? Just like, I don't feel as though it was like some, like, we're going to sit down and we're going to have lunch and we're going to discuss, this entire Project 2025 plan. No, I don't think it was anything like that. I think it was like maybe like people around him saying, hey, just stick it out. You don't, you're in a position where you can, be an agent for good, or, whatever it is that they're telling him to convince him to stay. But I don't think that he believes Bondi. Okay. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Like, he's staying because he thinks he can still do some good in that job in some weird way, that he's got it in his mind that he's doing good. Okay. For the base, he actually, if it comes out that Trump is in those files, if those files are released, and Elon is, I'm saying Elon because he's probably the one that's the most likely to release them, then yes, Trump will absolutely lose support. Project 2025 people, they know that he's in those files. It's like a ticking time bomb. Okay, like, what's going to take Trump out first? His health, the Epstein files, or election interference. And that may be a reading for another day. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I'll put another reading up here for you to check out. Probably another one of those Epstein readings. I have a feeling that I probably should start just numbering them, or like putting, like the actual dates on the titles, so that we can kind of see those in order. I may have to have a whole, Epstein playlist, because I don't see this going away anytime soon. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a good day.